This is my brutally honest review of The Sims 4 Bust the Dust. Now, I have two things to address. Firstly, this right here, this is not food, this is sun cream. And no, I'm not changing my top just for a video. The second thing I would like to address is, normally I don't do brutally honest reviews of kits. Usually my kit reviews are a lot more light-hearted and not a part of my brutally honest review series. But seeming this is the only gameplay kit, I feel like it's only right to give it a review and a score. Now, it comes with two new aspirations, one about being dirty and another one about being clean. Having a lifetime aspiration to clean your house, I think, is a little bit strange. I mean, that's The Sims 4 for you. Completing the clean aspiration gives you a special trait to clean faster, and then completing the dirty one will give you a happy moodlet in dirty environments. And it also makes it easier to befriend dust bunnies, which we'll come on to later. Also, I think it's important to mention that if you do get this kit and you're getting sick of cleaning your house, there's actually an option in game options under pack settings where you can turn off the gameplay of the kit. The pack comes with multiple vacuum cleaners. They actually come in a lot of nice swatches. If you were to have told me 10 years ago that one day I'll be reviewing color swatches of vacuum cleaners in The Sims, I'd think you were crazy. But here we are. The only thing I will say is about the variety of cleaners, it doesn't actually tell you when you hover over them what the differences are, so I feel like maybe there are no differences, or if there are, they should have made it much clearer. So you can click anywhere on the floor and Sims will vacuum that specific section of flooring, although it doesn't work if you click on a rug for some reason, only on the bare flooring. Sims will very vigorously clean one small section of the flooring, but it counts as vacuuming the entire floor. Dirtiness is not based on individual rooms, it's for the entire floor no matter what rooms there are. So if you just vacuum one small section of the ground floor, it will actually clean the entire ground floor, which I think is a bit weird, but there we go. There's also a small vacuum. Now, this cannot actually be used to vacuum furniture like you think you could do with it. Instead, you use it for kitchen sinks and computer desks. I don't know why I can't vacuum my sofa, but I can vacuum my bathroom sink. It's a little bit strange. It's very hit or miss in terms of what you can vacuum it with. I only found that I could vacuum my sinks and I could vacuum my desks with the handheld one. I just feel like they should have let you do it on soft furniture, like that's the whole point of a handheld vacuum, but there we go. After vacuuming lots, your house will have a clean status, and unfortunately that comes with annoying sparkles everywhere. Now, weirdly, there is not an option to turn these sparkles off. You either have to turn off the entire kit's gameplay or leave the gameplay on with the annoying sparkles if you clean your house. And of course, if you don't clean your house, you get annoying dust everywhere. So you lose either way. I feel like there should have been an extra in-game option to select turn on Bust the Dust gameplay, but don't have the sparkles. I don't know why that option doesn't exist. You can get a mod if you're a PC and Mac player, which turns off the sparkles, but if you play on console, you will have to deal with these annoying sparkles, unfortunately. There is an interaction where you can check the dust level of a floor in your house to know whether it needs cleaning or not. And when it is clean, your Sims will get a positive moodlet or a fine moodlet, normally a very small buff. Sometimes it can also put your Sims in a focus mood. Vacuum cleaners can be upgraded with the handiness skill. There's a total of 4 with things like never breaking or self-charging to function off the grid. So after 3 days of not cleaning my house, I still did not experience any dust, and apparently it's supposed to take 3 days. So I googled it, and apparently if you put pets in your household, it speeds up the dirtiness process. So I did, I put 4 pets, and then immediately the house got dirty. And I also got a dust bunny spawn in my bathroom. You can actually name these dust bunnies, which I think is really cute. You can also feed them and pet them just like a normal pet in your household. And there's also an interaction that you can do to search for valuables with the dust bunny, and they can usually find just a little bit of money or upgrade parts. They can also find other random small items, including cross-pack items. Then after interacting with the dust bunny enough, you can actually befriend them, and what that means is they'll stay even after vacuuming, because if you do not befriend them and you vacuum, they will disappear, whereas if you befriend them first, they actually won't disappear. They also have a higher chance of finding more simoleons or more expensive, rarer items if you befriend them. Now, if you're feeling sadistic stick. You can also stomp on them. Honestly, I felt like really guilty doing this. You can also vacuum them up, and there's a really, really horrific animation, and it made me feel so heartbroken. But you can get rid of them if you want to. Something else that I like is that you can actually move them in build mode, so you can put them in a better location if you do befriend them and like them and want them to stay. But in general, Bust the Dust kind of functions a little bit like Laundry Day in that it's not really an active pack that you play with. It's more so just something that's very passive in the background. Sometimes your house gets a little bit dirty, so you might clean it up. Ever since The Sims 1, a very big appealing thing about The Sims is being able to do mundane things like cooking and cleaning. The Sims is a very weird game in that aspect, that a lot of people like doing very boring, mundane things in the game, and somehow that's fun. And I think Bust the Dust adds to that in a very similar way to Laundry Day, in that washing your clothes can just be a passive, fun thing to do in the background, but also vacuuming your house. Now, you guys are probably going to be really surprised to hear this, but I actually really like this kit. I actually really like it. I've always said to people, like, don't buy this kit, because if you look at other people's reviews, they talk about how bad it is, how broken it is. But since then, Bust the Dust has actually received some patch updates. It seems like it's pretty much fixed, and I actually didn't suffer from any performance issues with it, and I've googled it and I haven't really found any people actually having performance issues with this pack in the last year or so. EA typically loves to upsell very small bits of gameplay as a stuff pack, but I honestly really love that this kind of gameplay thing is a kit and not a stuff pack, and I actually want them to do it again in the future. I feel like the Laundry Day stuff pack, for example, also would have been much better off as a kit like this without the unnecessary bloating of including build stuff and create a sim stuff. I think if you do like Laundry Day, I think you will also like the addition of Bust the Dust. Simply being able to do normal boring household chores in your game, I actually think it's fun in a weird way. I genuinely cannot fault this kit, other than the fact that you can't turn off the sparkles and the handheld vacuum thing is a little bit dumb. To be constructive to the Sims team, the sparkles should be optional and have the ability to turn them off in in-game settings, and handheld vacuums need to have much greater purpose other than being able to vacuum a bathroom sink. And again, in terms of bugs and glitches and performance issues, I actually didn't experience anything. And according to my research online, you guys don't seem to really be experiencing any kind of bugs or issues with this either. The only small thing, it's not necessarily a bug, but Bust the Dust comes with a lot of annoying idle animations if your house is dirty or if your house is clean. I also think the amount of money that you get from the Dust Bunnies by searching for valuables is too high and needs to be toned down a lot. Another thing is that if you have autonomy on, Sims will vacuum autonomously even though the house is clean. I personally don't mind it because I think it adds just a little bit of realism to the game if you're playing with a large household and one of your Sims is vacuuming, like they're just doing it in the background, and it makes the house look a bit more realistic. I actually quite like it, but there are mods to turn it off if you find it annoying. Another thing is that vacuum cleaners are supposed to fill up over time, then you're supposed to empty them in the trash, but mine did not fill up, not even once, so I'm not too sure why. Also, a very small thing, if you have The Sims 4 Parenthood, you can't actually influence your children to do the vacuuming like you could with normal cleaning, which is a shame. But in general, guys, I bet you clicked on this video thinking I'd be bashing this kit, and I have bashed it in the past based on other people's videos, but it seems over time they've fixed it. This is why I like to review older packs to see if they've changed over time. So if you're the kind of person that enjoys doing normal boring household chores, then yeah, I actually recommend this only if you play on PC, because then you can get the mod to turn off the sparkles. If you play on console, I do not recommend purchasing this at all, but if you play on PC and you can get a mod to turn off the sparkles, I actually recommend it if you're the kind of person who likes doing normal boring household chores like with Laundry Day in the game. I am giving Bust the Dust a 7.5 out of 10. Who would have thought? Not me. If you enjoyed this review, you may also enjoy one of the two reviews here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.